A very warm welcome to all our viewers. Welcome to the Sentinels Newsmakers. And once again, welcome to the new series that we have started, Meet Your Deputy Commissioner. And my guest today is Dr. M.S. Lakshmi Priya. She is NIS officer, now the Deputy Commissioner of Bongaigaon. Ma'am, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Ma'am, let me start by asking you about the challenges that you have faced while handling COVID. How has the last 4 months been? How has the past 4 months treated you?
Well, as of now, we are still in the midst of it. So the last 4 months have been challenging in terms of number of days you have to uh, rework on your strategies because you do not know if today's strategy is going to work tomorrow. So basically, sleepless days and nights for the entire team. Otherwise, you see, as is the case with all other districts in Assam, we also had what we may broadly classify the COVID situation into three phases. Basically, the first phase where we had Tabligh returnees who had become positive. That phase, Bongega was not affected that much because we did not have anybody who had visited the Tabligh and they had come back and they had turned positive. Such situations had not happened in Bongega. But we did have people who were contacts of such people, but that was not such a big number. The second phase, when people started coming back to their home districts. So in Bongaigaon, we had nearly about 10,000 people who have already come back from their places
Yeah.
of work all over the country and even outside the country. So that was a big challenge. So what we did was we opened up our schools. So we were against the idea of putting people together in one center, in a central location, because that would cause a cross infection. And it was difficult to manage people who have been staying so far away from home. We do not know about the issues that they must be going through, the challenges
Yeah.
that they, so what we decided is we made each of our villages competent enough to take care of their own people. That is, we made a group called Village Level Corona Pradrodi Dal in each
Okay.
village. We have 563 villages, so we made it in each of the locations, and we identified around 700 schools and equipped them. We got around 3,500 beds, and we equipped those places for accommodating at least 3,000 people at a time. So the village level Corona Pradrodi Dal, which is led by a head teacher, it also has ASHA, ANM, Anganwadi workers, the Jivika Sakhis of ASLRM, the village defense party. So they would take care of the people who would come back to their villages. So then people were much more at ease mentally when they would be staying in their own villages, quite next to their own homes. Many times people would meet, mothers would cook food and send for the sons. So that way, our second phase went off. Though we did have cases, it didn't cause spread because it was quite contained in those schools where a person would, or maybe two people, maximum of three people would share a toilet. Their toilets also were earmarked. So spread was much
Okay.
less then. Now we are in the
Right.
third phase where people who have visited other places like say Guwahati or so, where there have been many cases, when they come back for work or otherwise, now we are doing a large scale testing. Earlier we had only RT-PCR that would take time for the results to come. Now we have the antigen test also. So with the rapid antigen test, we get the results quickly. So that way, we are covering most of our locations now. We have some hotspots and possible clusters like railways. That is a big challenge for Bongaigaon. So apart from that, these 4 months have been a continuous work. There has not been a break. Many people have not met their children for all the entire time. I myself could not meet my I have my baby is now 1.5 years old. I myself could not meet her for many days because
Okay.
yeah, because somebody would turn out to be positive, and then you are a
Yes.
suspect, a contact. Then you have to isolate yourself.
Right.
So
Right.
those challenges are definitely there. Sometimes
Hmm.
it is overwhelming for many people,
Right.
but then since we
So
are all a group, yeah.
This brings me to the question, because you all are also fighting floods. So two big things happening at the same time. Of course, no comparison to what COVID has brought. But this particular fact, like many of the employees, many of the workers, many of the officers, they have not been able to go home, not been able to meet their family, their children. You yourself, 1.5-year-old baby, uh, could not meet the child for so long. So, how are all of you coping with so much of stress and all these other challenges? And you, as the leader of the team, how are you keeping your people motivated?
Actually, the leader is only as good as the team is. So I am blessed with a great team. Basically, that is why Bongegao has done well with respect to, relatively well with respect to flood also and
Mm,
COVID situation also. The huge challenge is that it affects the same group of people, and the same group
right.
of people have to work for it also.
Mm,
So
mm,
when at the worst times of our flood situation, river I had taken a new route. So around 30 villages overnight were flooded. So that was a
mhm.
huge challenge, and we had to move a lot of people to relief camps. In that situation, maintaining COVID protocol in the relief camp, and
Yes.
our officers and staff who regularly visit the areas to make sure that they don't get infected, that was our
Right.
greatest challenge basically. But
Mhm,
basically, you see, whenever anything appreciable happens,
mm,
we don't shy from letting the other person know. Like, for example, we used to give an appreciation card. We had a program called Samarthan.
mhm.
Entire activities in Bongaigaon district with respect to COVID is happening under the aegis of a program that we have taken, which is called Project Mili Juli. Mili Juli, in Assamese it means together. So
Mm.
under in the scheme, that is how we came up with the idea of the village defense party. Some villagers themselves made huts for their people who are coming back, self-sustained totally. So
Right.
as part of it, we used to give certificates of appreciation. We used to call
Mhm.
them, and I used to meet them. Otherwise, they circle officers used to meet the staff, and so on and so forth. So that way, people were motivated. Sometimes we simply celebrate by cutting a cake.
Right.
Everything is over. We see nowadays. We don't, like, my health team would be sitting elsewhere. They cut the cake, and we enjoy the happiness in the VC. Something like that. So
Mhm.
that is how we keep motivating each other.
Right, right. Very, very nice, very interesting stuff. And I really like the initiatives taken by you, like Milli Julie and the cake cutting stuff. Small little gestures that go a long way and mean a lot to each person there. So really tough time. So how has been the flood situation now? How is it now?
It's much better. At one point of time, at the peak point of floods in Bongaigaon, we had around 2.3 lakh people who were affected. So
Right.
as of now, it has decreased much. Now we have near about 300 people in the relief camps
Mhm.
um, and relief centers. 50 people or so in relief camps, and 300 who are catered to by the relief centers.
Okay.
Otherwise, things are getting better now. I think
Right.
it will take a few days more, should weather be the way it is now. Now it is much,
Right.
much better.
Okay, okay. Really glad to hear that. Otherwise, it would have been really, really difficult to be handling both COVID and the flood fury, which all of you have been doing. But yes, it's really tough. So, what has been some of your major challenges or obstacles? I mean, besides COVID and the floods, you've been there for some time now. So, what has been some of the things that you feel as challenges and obstacles?
I have been here for 6 months now, and 4 major months of my being here have been taken
Yes.
as by COVID and later on by floods. Basically, at
Right.
the moment, our challenge is COVID and also flood.
Hmm.
Otherwise, I don't actually see a problem in such an unsurmountable problem. Basically, we
Okay.
have come up with in the first couple of months that I was here before the COVID issue
Mm-hmm.
actually started. We had come up with some ideas regarding solar street lighting and so
Right.
on. So those were actually going to be successfully implemented. But then since COVID situation came up, we could not.
Yes.
So otherwise, I don't. In fact, you see, I don't believe in obstacles at all. That they are going to be there. Only if they are there
Right.
can you surmount them, isn't it? So yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. So extremely positive and ready to take any kind of challenge that comes your way, which you already are doing a commendable job there as the Deputy Commissioner of Bongaigaon. Now, let's focus a little bit on the need to upgrade, to uplift, and also, in a way, establish proper, permanent, rural healthcare facilities as well as the education institutions there, the educational institutions. This is not just specific to Bongaigaon or Assam. In fact, every state of India now is waking up to all these requirements. They are now looking at all of these things very seriously. So, what is it like? What are your plans as far as your district is concerned?
See, this is the very basis of development of any place. Uh,
Right.
I'm a doctor myself, and I studied in
Okay.
Trivandrum Medical College. So I have understood with my experience here in
Hmm.
Assam and otherwise that any place where primary health infrastructure and health service is ensured goes way ahead of other places with respect to overall development. It's not only about health, it's like
Right.
a cycle. Primary health and primary education have to be made available, easily available at each nook and corner of the district, especially in
Right.
case of rural areas. What happens otherwise is, say, suppose a lady is pregnant, she
Yes.
must not be in a situation to come to the district headquarters for any of her checkups unless a red signal has been given by the sub center or the PHC or the. So this hierarchy of institutions with respect to health,
Hmm.
that is, suppose the lady suddenly feels her everyday ANCs, antenatal checkups and immunization and things, as is happening now on Wednesday, Village Health and Nutrition Day, VHND.
Okay.
The pregnant lady is assessed. She is given her routine immunization. Even the kids,
Mm-hmm.
infants are also given their immunization. So that is actually the way to go ahead. The only
Right.
thing is that we must have enough trained manpower, and
Hmm.
we must have enough facilities to cater to these people, people who are in need in for primary health care. But after that, once a stage comes, say somebody is anemic. In Assam, I see a lot of people, lot of
Mm-hmm.
women are anemic. So say
Yeah.
somebody has been identified as being anemic. So then she has to get the best care, health care she needs to in at a higher center. Say for example, in my district, till about a month back, we didn't have ICU setups or ventilator setups other than some ICUs that were there in some private hospitals. So
Right.
now, in the last 1 month, we have managed to get 25 bedded ICU in our Bongaigaon Civil Hospital and 15 ventilators. Our doctors and the medical team are now getting trained in GMCH. So now we can start using those facilities. So basically,
Mm-hmm.
I'm very much convinced that primary education and primary health, they are
Right.
they are going to set the standard of the quality of life of the entire
Yes.
community. Plus, the advantage
Right.
that Assam has with respect to strong community bonds that I
Hmm.
realized with respect to the when I was doing the project Milijuli. As opposed to some
Yeah.
other states, Assam has a huge potential to develop as a whole. So when these ideas of primary health and primary education are implemented in villages, villages themselves can actually take it up if they are convinced about the idea. Like I told you about some villages having come up with some huts to place there to
Yeah.
keep their people who are coming from outside. Now, our
Right.
plan was that once the COVID situation is over, those huts will be converted into libraries. In the
Okay.
same way, these migrant laborers and others who have come back, who are now presently unemployed,
Hmm.
we are planning to put them in a big project that we are planning in our district with respect to development of a park, which will be converted into a reading area, a huge reading area with Wi-Fi and all facilities for children and
Hmm.
others to come and read. So I believe that education, primary education, has to reach every household, every nook and
Right.
corner. So for that,
Yes.
libraries are also very much important. From the place from I come from, Kerala, I have seen that the smallest of the villages have libraries,
Hmm.
and people
Hmm.
know about what's happening around. So that really adds to the betterment of your quality of life. So yes, I totally agree to the idea that primary health and primary education are the very basic things for development, especially in case of rural areas.
Right, right, right. Now, you mentioned about the employment aspect. So, what are the plans there as far as creating livelihood options? Because, like you mentioned, there are a lot of people who came back to the state and now they are finding it really difficult to find a job. Of course, the situation, we all know what the situation is like. So, are there any thinking as far as the administration is concerned on creating employment opportunities for people there?
Actually, this is the biggest challenge. Even the medical part of it we can handle. People becoming
Right.
positive, we still have some way or the other to sort it out. Initially, when these people when they came back, we had given
Yeah.
even rice and other things as part of GR. Some money was
Hmm.
transferred into their accounts as part of Assam Cares. But now is the real challenge. Now they are here, they are not infected, or they have recovered.
Hmm.
Now they have families to take care of. Now they don't have
Right.
jobs to go back to. So what we are doing in Bongaon is that we are engaging them in whatever is happening in their own panchayats to start off with.
Okay.
Suppose they do not have job cards, we are giving them job cards. And if
Hmm.
they want to work in MGNREGA, they are free to do it. We engage them. We are
Hmm.
also putting them in other works, like you see as many of them were mestri, were do
Hmm.
masons, or they knew about putting tiles, laying tiles and such
Right.
things. So where we are using those kind of talents of these people wherever we can accommodate them. For example, now we have Jal Jeevan Mission, so there we
Hmm.
are
Hmm.
accommodating them. We have this 14 finance work going on. PMAYG, that is houses for rural poor. There they are being
Hmm.
utilized. But as I told you, we are coming up with a big project. We are planning. It is
Yeah.
in the pipeline. So we are planning
Okay.
to employ only migrant people who have come back. Migrant, I
All
do
right.
not know whether one must be addressing them as migrant laborers. People of
Yes.
Wongeka who have come back
Hmm.
with utmost respect and humility. We are planning
Hmm.
to employ them in this project. And you see, what
Right.
we have been doing is, I believe that employment given to a woman will really
Hmm.
add much more benefit as compared to a man. So
Right.
I feel that the money that comes, the experience that she gains, the outlook that broadens, she adds to the entire family. So here,
Hmm.
what we have done is we have this National Urban Livelihood Mission (NULM)
Hmm.
and National
Hmm.
Rural
Hmm.
Livelihood Mission (NRLM). which are basically working based on self-help group, SHGs.
Hmm.
So these are all women SHGs. So during the lockdown times, we did what is called Bihu box. We had Bihu at
Okay.
that time. So
Yes.
we told them to make boxes with pita and other things. One box would cost you 100, another may cost you
Hmm.
200, something like that. And then we urged people to buy. So because people were in lockdown state and many could not go back home,
Yeah.
it was a big hit. So these women were employed that way. They made some money, which benefited their families. In the same way, we are
Right.
now using NULM to make face shields that we are using for COVID. We don't order them from
Okay.
outside, so we
Right.
have encouraged them to make it. And now the other day we have given them an order worth 2 lakhs from whatever funds we have. So we are encouraging everybody to procure such, even masks. Every village has
Hmm.
self-help
Hmm.
groups, so the masks that they
Hmm.
made were the ones that were procured by each gram panchayat. So that way, but then yes, this is a big challenge. It's a huge challenge because people
Right.
were, they left their districts, their hometowns, because they saw some prospect in the wherever they were working. Now coming
Hmm.
back, it may not be that easy to get them that kind of a pay right away. So it will need more planning.
Right. But you have already done a lot of innovative thinking to, find ways of helping them earn some kind of a livelihood, some money to support their families. And the thing that you are thinking about, employing women more, that's something really, really brilliant. And also the fact that you said about libraries in every nook and corner, that also will go a long way. That will benefit our children as well as the people. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a really positive move there. Now, what about some of the other, initiatives that you would like to take? Some top of your agenda. I mean, yes, you are totally preoccupied at this point of time. COVID, floods, keeping your team motivated, thinking about these livelihood opportunities, and so many things on your plate already. But are there a few things that's very close to your heart and you would really like to see those getting implemented?
Yes, couple of things that we planned soon after I joined. Those I
Mhm.
can, share with you. First one was regarding energy. So
Hmm.
what we thought is that uh, we shouldn't be so dependent upon non-renewable energy sources. So we were going to install around 1,000 solar street lights in Bongaigaon.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
is already sanctioned, but that we are doing in collaboration with IOCL, BRPL.
Okay. Hmm.
So then we were planning to start off in similar way, solar lanterns for children. So
Yeah.
these were both in collaboration with IOCL. And then there is a scheme from our Science and Technology, Ministry of Science and Technology, whereby which we can have, floating solar panels. So
Hmm.
we have all of Assam has a lot of pukuris. So
Yeah.
we have our eco park right in the middle of the town. So we had decided a spot where we would put in this floating solar panels, which would cater to that area. So these were regarding our energy related works that we were planning. Otherwise,
Yeah.
something that's very close to my heart is children, because I
Mm-hmm.
feel that the future is really theirs. I have already lived my 35 years. So I'm okay with, you know, I'm okay with anything that happens in my life ahead. But kids are, they're just going to live their life. So I believe
Right.
they will actually give us the actual result of what we are doing. So we were
Hmm.
planning for something in Anganwadis. The name of the scheme was Mamata, and we
Hmm.
were. The program is Adopt an Anganwadi. So that is somebody, our children in Anganwadis, they sit on the floor. So once it starts raining, it really becomes very difficult, and nobody would really want to send the child to the Anganwadi. So what we did was that we started procuring small tables and chairs for them to sit. So we have already populated 10 or 12 Anganwadis in our district with tables and chairs, which came to use when the floods had come. We moved all the tables and chairs to the relief camps. We made child-friendly spaces in the relief camps where children were given that area as a play area, and the Anganwadi teachers, Anganwadi worker and helper from the nearest Anganwadi was posted there
Yeah.
to entertain and continue education for the children. So that is something that is very close to my heart. Then I was planning to start off with a UPSC and APSC coaching center in Bongaigaon. I was
Okay.
DC in Sipsagar before I moved to Bongaigaon. There also we have done the same thing. So that project is still ongoing there. So we were planning to start off with a satellite center here, which we will in a couple of months' time. Once the
Yeah.
COVID situation comes under control, then we'll go ahead and do it basically.
Right, right. So wonderful. It's really nice to have an administrator, a deputy commissioner like you know, in charge of everything with so many positive ideas there that would really transform each of our districts eventually. Great work that you are doing. Thank you so much for your time today and sharing all your thoughts and your positive plans as well. It was wonderful speaking to you. Thank you for being on Sentinels Newsmakers. Looking forward for more interactions with you. All the best and
Thank you.
really great work that you are doing. Pleasure. Thank you, viewers, for joining us for this particular series. Thank you. Goodbye.